Hi there, and welcome to Tony's Science Tidbits. We're going to look at part 2 of our lesson on matter and the particle theory. This part focuses on the states of matter. There are 3 states of matter we are concerned about in grade 9. They are the solids, the liquids, and gases. Solids can be thought of as anything you can pick up, if it's not too heavy, that does not require a container to hold it. They like to hold their shape. This hat is just one example. Liquids move around more than solids and typically require some sort of container to hold them if we wish to move them around. Unlike solids, liquids do not hold their shape and take on the shape of the container we put them in, like that bucket of water from part 1. Gases move around even more than the liquids and are typically difficult to see. We often can only tell they exist if we smell them or put them in a container, like blowing air into a balloon. Air is a gas. Gases will expand to completely fill any size of container we wish to place them in. Matter can also change between these 3 states of solid, liquid, and gas. This is achieved by altering or changing pressure or temperature. For us, we are mainly concerned with temperature changes. The first change in state is melting. We are pretty familiar with this change. It is when solids change directly into a liquid. Reminds me a lot of that ice cream I dropped on the sidewalk last summer. The second change is the opposite of melting. We call this freezing. This is when a liquid changes directly into a solid, like freezing this glass of water in the video. We should also note, too, that the temperature at which a specific type of matter, like water, freezes and melts is always the same temperature. For water, that's 0 degrees Celsius. The third change is evaporation. This is when a liquid changes directly to a gas. We often refer to this as steam when we see it rise from a pot of boiling water on the stove, or off a wet asphalt road on a hot summer day. The fourth change in state is condensation. This is when a gas changes directly into a liquid. We see examples of this all the time on our hot, humid days in the summer. You take a nice, cold drink outside, and almost immediately there is liquid or moisture on the outside of the glass. This is water vapor, or gas, coming out of the air and turning to water. So far, these changes in state should sound familiar and be relatable to your experiences in life. The next 2, maybe not so much. Well, at least the terms may not be familiar. You may have seen or experienced the examples I'll give. So let's look at number 5, sublimation. This is the change from a solid directly to a gas. A common example is solid carbon dioxide, or CO2. Since carbon dioxide boils at a minus 57 degrees Celsius, when we expose it to room temperature, which is roughly 20, it immediately boils into a gas. Lastly, we have deposition. This is when a gas changes directly to a solid. As odd as this may sound, we often see examples of this on our cold winter days when the air is quite humid. Water vapor, or gas, will freeze, and this forms frost.